Hey, what's up guys? Johnny here with Team Legit. We're out here today. We're on vacation over here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and we're going to bring you kind of an unconventional video today. We're going to bring you an unboxing in a different location that we're not normally used to.
We got a Phantom 3.
We just got a brand new DJI Phantom 3 Professional, and we're going to crack this box open and show you what's inside. We're going to try to use this over the weekend and see how we like it and give you guys our thoughts. Come on in. Alright guys, so we've got the Phantom 3 here, Professional. We have a whole bunch of them coming in. We did an original unboxing of the Inspire 1 and we really liked it. However, I felt that the Inspire 1 was more of a piece of camera than an actual quadcopter or a multi-rotor. It's got a lot of features that us FPVers personally wouldn't use, but if you're into video photography and if you're into recording, those aerial shots and getting those cool different angles, I think the Inspire 1 was a great product to get, but the price point kind of scared people away. It was about $3,000.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely more geared towards the professional filming community and a lot less towards us guys who were just trying to get a cool aerial shot of us just ripping
around and doing things like that, getting that third-person shot. Now the Phantom 3 Professional and Advanced, there's two models of this. We have the Professional. The only difference between the two is the camera on them. Some of them, this one records in 4K, and the other one I believe is
it's 60 frames a second at
1080p. So we wanted to go with the best of the best just to kind of get a better idea of what's going on here. So the Phantom 3 that we've got here, it's got a couple of really cool capabilities, and I think it's basically a little clone or a baby brother to the Inspire 1. It's got the light bridge in there. It's got a lot of other of the same features. I think it runs the same app. We're going to find that out yet. Currently, there is no app yet for the Apple device, but we do have an Android that we're going to go ahead and use it on. So without further ado, let's get this box cracked open and see what the heck is inside this thing.
The other thing is with the DJI Phantom is it's definitely it's in another way it's geared towards the hobbyist community and less the professional community. It's a single operator. In order to get those really killer shots that most people are looking to get out of like an Inspire 1, you really truly do need a second operator. But because this only has because it only has roll and pitch axis on the gimbal, there's no panning around or anything like that. It makes it much easier to fly single operator.
So, like Josh said, there is no roll. So, I'm sorry, no yaw. You can't axis. Yaw the camera around, so you would actually yaw the copter around. So, yeah, that makes things pretty cool. First thing, you've got a user manual. You've got the synonymous casing that holds the DJI.
And the number one thing you guys got to know about the Phantoms is the manual is like your Bible with them. You do need to actually pay attention to what's going on inside the manual, because unlike most of us guys, as soon as we get something, the manual is just the Phantom, you actually need to read the manual, and you actually need to know what's going on in order to...
You should pretty much do that with any kind of multi-rotor, any kind of a piece of equipment that you're just getting into. Understand it and see how it works before you get this thing, put it up in the air, you get yourself in trouble, you get somebody hurt, you get yourself hurt. Right. So make sure you guys follow the instructions. I think common sense goes a long way in this type of industry.
Definitely.
All right, first thing I see is this big shiny gold looking white and gold quadcopter. I don't know if you guys see white and gold. Some of you guys may see blue and black. I'm not sure, depending on your colors. So this is probably a little case to hold the camera in place. First thing you see is this tiny looking little camera. It looks like basically a mini SLR shrunk down onto a little tiny standalone gimbal. It's got 4K on here. This looks like the same motors they would use on the Zenmuse. The whole thing is really nice and compact. The only difference between this and the Phantom 2, I believe, is one, the camera. They've moved this forward, and they've added this cool little indoor sonar and camera system to lock your position indoors.
Yeah, what this is mainly used for is for people who I've seen a lot of people like to fly indoors with these quads, and one of the problems they were having is because it wouldn't get a GPS launch, sometimes it wouldn't even take off. So the sonar is actually used to keep it more positionally stable when you're indoors. It finds, if you're under 20 feet or something, right around there?
Yeah, it'll lock you in indoors so it doesn't, you don't have any issues with those. So we've got a battery. It looks like a 4480 milliamp battery. It's 15.2 volts, so they did up the voltage on the batteries. We always say higher voltage, lower kV, you get more efficiency.
Which is
so that's probably what they did in this case.
And that's probably how they got the extended flight times with the new Phantoms.
Probably running a higher voltage. They've got these new motors. I haven't seen these before on the Phantom, so these are some new motors. I don't know if these are the actual new Emax motors that they're going to be using for this quadcopter.
These are the new props that they're shipping out with them in a very nice prop bag. They give you spares because they know that a lot of newbies in the hobby are definitely going to be breaking props. Very nicely shaped. Look like they're going to be nice for the the higher voltage, lower kV. I think these are a little bit bigger than other
They
Phantom
do look a little
props.
bit bigger. I'm probably, we should measure them. I think they're probably, what, 10 inches? 8,
Probably.
9
They look
inches?
like 10 inches. I think the old Phantoms were 9.5s, weren't they?
I think they came with 8-inch props. I think the original Phantoms were 8, and then I think they had 9.5s that you can get.
Yeah, so they're probably bumped it up just to get that extra efficiency. Because this is boasting some incredible new flight times, even though it's the same platform. So we're definitely going to have to look into that and see what kind of flight times we can get out of this quad.
Next, we've got the transmitter here. As you can see, this little transmitter, it looks like I want to say a less shiny version of the Inspire 1 battery. Transmitter. It's got the two functions the same, the power and the return to home button. This is actually a pretty neat little button for people just getting into it. But I can see a lot of people getting themselves in trouble with this button. So basically with a Phantom, whenever you're flying a Phantom, why they are so appealing to the newbies is, one, because they're RTF. They come with everything you need here. You don't have to buy a transmitter, charger, battery. Everything's there. But two, is because it's, I guess you can say, Josh has put it very well, dummy proof. I mean, if you're flying this thing around and you get into a jam, if you let go of everything, it's going to stabilize itself and it's going to stop itself from doing something bad.
Yeah, before I even learned how to fly quadcopters, I had not so much as picked one up before. As soon as I picked up a Phantom before, they're so incredibly easy to fly. I was ripping around with it in the parking lot like it was nothing. So.
Very, very stable. One thing that's a little bit different on the Phantoms than, or on the DJI products, is the throttle mid position. The throttle has a spring-loaded mid position, so wherever you let it go, that's where it's going to hover at.
Yeah, truly,
if you increase that, it's going to go up. If you decrease that, it's going to go down.
Yeah, it's not an actual. It's not a
You're
actual
not managing your
throttle.
throttle.
Yeah, it's not throttled management.
It's
It's actually an
basically
elevation. It's an elevation stick, really.
Exactly, like an altitude stick. So this return to home button I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of people will get themselves in a jam because if they go out there and they fly into a situation, maybe behind a building or a tree or something, and they hit return to home, I know these things go up. I don't remember if it's about 20 meters or 30 feet.
Yeah.
But if it goes up, and if you went this way and you went around that way, it's going to go up and it's going to come straight into them. I'm sure you guys seen some of those videos on YouTube, incredible crashes into some nice rock formations and monuments.
And skyscrapers and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Exactly,
So.
and that's pretty much a cause of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and then also one of the things that I think is really cool and innovative that DJI has done is a lot of companies just say, oh, well, we're not in trouble because we're not the ones who are, crashing our product. But DJI went a step further and said, well, other people are crashing our product, so in order to make it more safe, they actually built a firmware that won't let it power up in certain areas. Like Washington, D.C., you can't even get your motors to power up on something like this.
Thanks for that one, dummy. So we've got the transmitter here, going a little bit more into detail in it. There's one really cool feature to this. It's got a record button. We have launched our planes, we have launched our quadcopters, we've gone in the air and got halfway out
many times.
and just said, oh man, that was such a cool little shot we did. That was such a nice little flight we did. And then you get on the ground and you realize you forgot to hit the record button on the camera. So that's a really cool little feature they add on here. You can actually start recording when you want to. You've got a playback button here. I believe that's for playing back videos or taking snapshots. There's a couple other different features. We'll get into the manual a little bit more in detail. There's a couple sliders on here. I think this is for probably a yaw,
yeah.
A quick yaw. There's two buttons back here. The C1, C2. These remind me of the R1, R2 buttons on a video game controller. I don't know if these are the ones that fire the rockets. I'm just kidding. No rockets are coming out of this thing. And you've got the DJI phone, phablet, tablet, and little display device holder right here.
Yeah, and it'll hold a lot of these companies that are releasing stuff. They typically don't scale this up for larger displays, but it'll handle all the way up to something like a big Note 4.
Actually, it'll take an iPad.
Well, really?
Yes, it will.
Yeah, so it'll handle the biggest phablet and tablet that you can.
If you're going to be running that transmitter, I do suggest putting your neck strap in there. It's going to get heavy, holding 6-7 pounds in your hand for 10-20 minutes, however long these things fly.
Yeah. Also, we have just a basic Phantom charger.
DJI is very protective of their stuff, so they made their batteries with their own firmware, and you have to charge it, within their specs. Takes a lot of engineering to crack their code and get them to change out their charging system.
And then it also comes with a little baggie, which is a little hard to see because of the reflectiveness, but it's just got some spare parts, got some extra vibration dampening balls, a couple little tools for changing props, and it looks like it has some double-sided tape. I'm not sure exactly what you'd use that for, but they threw it in.
All right, going back to the actual quadcopter here, a couple things that are a little bit different on them. There's a little USB port here in the front of it. I'm assuming that's for firmware updates and things like that. I do know that the Firmwares can also be updated through the SD card. I'm not sure if that's the case with this particular piece of equipment. We've got the motors, we talked about. We've got this, synonymous landing gear. A lot of guys were getting these things, putting gimbals on the bottom of it. They had to extend their landing gear. DJI has pretty much made this an all-in-one product for the consumer. You don't have to do anything. You shouldn't have to modify this thing. You should be able to take it right out of the box and be able to fly it like we're going to do this weekend. Another quick note, they did add an SD card in there for us, so we don't have to worry about sourcing our own SD card. It comes in it. So all in all, what we're trying to get at is we're out here on vacation. We literally crack this thing out of the box. We're going to charge the battery, and we're going to take it out and do some flying this weekend. Anything else?
I think we're good to go. Let's get out and do some awesome aerial video cinematography with this bad boy.
Or let's put it in the lake, one of the two.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if it has flyaways.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, this is Johnny.
And I'm Josh.
And we're with Team Legit. We want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, don't forget to put that in the comments below. If you guys like us cracking open new and exciting FPV gear, don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe.
We also have all the good social medias. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and soon, probably at the end of this weekend, we're going to make a Team Legit Snapchat. So it's going to be at @TeamLegit_FPV.
And if you have seen any of our videos, you'll know what kind of shenanigans we pull off. Did you ever get the MySpace going or anything like that?
Don't forget to check us out on Figure One.
and Tinder.
All right, let's charge this battery up.
Grinder, yeah.
Josh, check
Check out Team Legit on Grinder.
All right, don't forget. All right, let's get this thing charged, and then we'll get up, we'll get ready, and we'll head out on the lake. All right, Fire one. We've been waiting to get our hands on one of these.
Finally, right?
Nice. Well, let's just do a review on this right now, then. Okay. We got, what is that?
This is the gimbal.
No way.
Yes, take it out.
Wow, let's check that thing out.
Look at that. Beauty.
This thing is actually a lot lighter than I imagined.
Yeah.
This is a 4K camera, micro SD card recorder. Micro SD card is included as well.
Yes.